Hi everybody! So we have done it. We've completed pretty much nearly our first week of lockdown, version 3. So I wanted to just reflect a little bit and just put some thoughts out there in terms of if this is affecting you in any way, of some steps to kind of go through to deal with this better. So the first thing is to think whether or not the thoughts that you are having, if they are negative, if they are fact or if they're in fact fiction. Our negative thoughts are often quite over-exaggerated in terms of how bad things really are. So try to note what you know to be true from your more irrational thoughts and feelings and emotions to try and gain perspective around that. If you're having negative thoughts, grab hold of it. So if there are recurring themes of your thought patterns around this, is how about journaling them down when they arise, get them written down and see what things emerge. If there's certain behaviours, if there's certain activities that are coming up and arising that seem to be sparking these thoughts and feelings. Try and seek then to understand, to try and gain a bit more clarity, ask more questions of yourself, be curious around what you're actually writing down. And then again, look back and see if these feelings and thoughts are rational. Obviously don't judge them, they are what they are, but to get them actually down on paper, you can then assess whether or not you know this to be true, or if this is just a figment of the imagination that your brain is just going through. And sometimes I appreciate it can be hard to see, or hard to sometimes understand whether or not your thoughts and feelings are more emotionally led, or if they are more rational. So actually getting a friend that's close by to you, a family member, or even if you've got a coach, to actually help you gain better perspective around this area. And for each negative thought that you have, could you actually spin that round 180 degrees and reframe it into something positive? Because even if you don't believe truly in the positive, kind of the reframe that you do, to actually be able to do that in the first instance will become more habitual to you, and eventually over time the reframing of negative emotions will come more naturally and you will actually then start to believe them. But we need to start this process from somewhere, because it's important to remember our brain doesn't know how to not do something, so we need to tell it and we need to direct it to where we want our thoughts and feelings to go, and that's where this process starts of reframing. And like a muscle, it takes time. So just like you'd pick up a weight in the gym, you're not going to expect to have awesome biceps straight away. So this will take time, it will take practice, it does take consistency and energy. So number 3 is that attitude is a choice. And I know that this period of time will affect all of us in very different ways, and no one is more valid than another in terms of perspective or idea around this, or their thoughts and feelings around this. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is that it's actually really interesting to speak more to people about their thoughts and feelings about lockdown and COVID, because you'll actually probably gain more understanding. You'll understand new perspectives. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but to be open-minded and receptive to the fact that other people have got other ideas in terms of how this makes them feel, how it affects them day to day, it enhances your ability to keep learning. And if we were all positive 100% of the time, this planet, I can guarantee, would be pretty boring. So it's great to have the diversity of these thoughts and feelings that you do have. And the old chestnut of it's okay to not be okay. And it is, but it's not okay to let this spiral on and on. The longer you let this spiral, the longer you're gonna get deeper into the hole. So yes, allow yourself time to express and feel and be in these emotions, but then also give yourself that authority back to put a timestamp on it, put some boundaries on this, to tell yourself that actually it's okay to feel like this now, but say when I go into the gym tonight, obviously the garage gym that we've got set up, or if I'm to get up tomorrow morning, that I'm going to feel a different way. I'm going to set my intentions for how I want to feel in that moment, and I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to go with it. Because at the end of the day, you are in control of your thoughts and your emotions. You take that choice as to what to do with them. If you choose to take action upon them, if you brush them off or acknowledge them, you make that decision in terms of where you turn your focus and where you action. And remember, there should never be any pressure from anybody else. I know that some people would like to really stress and emphasize their view and the perspective of this, But that doesn't mean that you have to agree. It doesn't mean you have to succumb to what they're saying. You choose what's right for you. You take the path that's right for you in this period of time. Don't feel like you have to be dictated to those around you. So next, I like this one, is detox. And I'm not talking your bullshit juices, your blimmin' smoothie, blimmin' fad diets, your intermittent fasting, detoxing, liver cleansing, aloe vera crap. I'm talking social media. I'm talking news. And I'm talking network. So, are there things around you that aren't beneficial to your health? In terms of the social media that you follow, the people you follow on there, can you unfollow? Can you mute them? The news that you expose yourself to, is it really necessary? Do you need to know that information? And how does that information make you feel once you know it? Does it impact you negatively? Is it worth even having around? And then the people that you have in your network, it is imperative that you have a good, solid base of people around you that you can turn to and you can speak to openly without judgment, without argument, without any kind of negative feelings or anxiety that might come as a part of speaking with that person. If they do make you feel like that, then they aren't the type of person that you want in your life. So actively be around people that do make you feel upbeat, that make you feel magic about yourself, to follow social media pages that really do make you feel pretty good. They want to make you get out of bed in the morning. They want to give you direction. Follow those pages that really do bring value to your life. And explore new hobbies. Social media can be so powerful to actually find and investigate new things that you might not have had a chance to do before, whether it's taking courses, if it's taking up a new hobby, a new activity. We can learn so much over the internet as well, using YouTube, a great resource. So fully surround yourself with things that are going to better you in this time period, if that's what you choose to do. So always remember, the situation might have changed, however your goals haven't. So if you want to really achieve something, go and investigate how you can still achieve it in different ways. There's always a way around something, and things like this can give us an epic chance to actually problem solve and look for other solutions that we might not have explored before. So also, it is important that if you are struggling to adapt, is to reach out for help. Find someone that knows how to do what you're trying to do, whether it's via hiring a coach, seeking a mentor. There will be something there or someone there that is able to help you. So my next point is actually around brain training, and just like I mentioned earlier, our brain still does need training, like the way that we would with a muscle. So on average, we have like 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. It's thought, but actually 80% of these for many people can be negative. So we are more negatively biased as human beings, and it's up to us to start making the changes to actually sway that ratio. But how do we do this? So we need to actively spend time doing things like creating more positive thoughts around goal setting, being so direct and clear of what it is that we are working towards. It's writing gratitudes with daily intentions. It's writing affirmations, having mantras, and actually being consistent with what they are and repeating them daily, and knowing how you're wanting to actually move forward with these. Even finding small wins in each day. Doesn't have to be massive. Anything that you think is taking you that step forward and you've achieved it and you're proud, it's a win regardless. So for me this week, most of my daily wins have been, apart from yesterday because I had a really late night the night before, but it's actually getting up pre 7 a.m. and I've not set a time of being, stupid o'clock in the morning. But some mornings it's been 5:30. I had a 4:55 start. This morning I think I was up at like 20 to 6. So for me, they are my small wins because I'm making more time within my day to be proactively trying to make my steps forward to the goals that I'm actually trying to achieve. So the next thing is breeding positivity. And this can be done in a number of ways. But every single day, find something, do something that you really enjoy, whether it's big or small, doesn't have to be exercise related, but find something that you actually really enjoy doing, just to kind of take your mind aside from other things that are happening. And this could be, going to a drive-through just to get a nice coffee. It doesn't have to be full of crap. It can be, You know, just a nice black coffee with a bit of sugar-free syrup, maybe a splash of almond milk. It can be catching up with friends, organise a coffee and a catch-up over Zoom with some of the girls. It can be learning things from YouTube, go on there and watch a funny video, watch a silly video, just anything that will raise your spirits. And also looking at discovering, finding new things on social media. So using the keywords, look at, you know, areas of interest that you're passionate about, and find new people to follow, to go and find out more about. And we know that spending too much time with negative people, in negative situations, around negative behaviours, it will rub off on you and will create a downward spiral for you. So even if it means like touching base with old friends from school that you've not spoken to in a while due to time constraints, say, due to the kids, go and touch base with people again. Go really seek out those people that used to bring you joy and that you really want to connect back with. Now is a perfect time. So thank you so much for listening, and if this has helped at all, please drop me a like, drop me a comment, also share it if you feel necessary. It's a great way to be able to help businesses right now where, you know, you might not always be able to purchase from a certain business, but just doing those 3 steps just helps wonders for new businesses and small businesses like myself. And I'd like to add as well that I am taking on new clients. I am only taking on a limited amount, but if you are struggling with anything around mindset, especially around eating behaviours, certain beliefs around food and nutrition, as well as possibly struggles around fitness and areas of training right now, I work from a very directive point of mindset first. This is my number 1 key directive of how I work with clients. So if you are interested, drop me a comment or drop me a DM, absolutely no problem. Like I said, I've only got limited spaces, and I do like to obviously assess first that you are suited to having a coach such as myself. But I'd be really keen to hear from anybody that does feel that they'd like some level of accountability and to take key steps forward, ready for their 2021 to kick off in the best way.